In today's video, what I want to go through is an adaptation of the Nordic exercise that I personally like to use. Now, the Nordics, it's a controversial exercise. Should we use it? Shouldn't we use it? Well, this exercise that I'm going to show you, I think it's a quick fix to overcome a lot of the silly arguments. Whether there is eccentric motion, whether it's isometric, I'll be honest with you, until that research becomes clear, I'll let everyone fight out about it on social media, and I'll still just worry about how to try to get the best out of my patients in the real world. So this is an exercise that I like to do. So the traditional Nordic, we're going to hold the person's heels, and then they're going to do their Nordic exercise. One of the things that I dislike about that exercise is I think we're getting a lot of proximal gastrodistal hamstrings, which I think is really good to delay knee extension. Okay, and if you don't kind of know now why I think delay knee extension is really important, then please go back to my other resources all about the glutes is only as good as the hamstring and the proximal gastro allow it to be. Okay, but for now, getting back to this, if we want the gastro and the hamstring to delay knee extension, okay, then we want the full gastro to be involved in this. Okay, and I just think sometimes the Nordic, we can focus too much on the proximal gastro where there's not enough distal gastro in the form of plantar flexion. Now, there is some machines that will allow you to plantar flex, but if you do have those machines, I would encourage you to get that plantar flexion in as well. Okay, so the Nordic variation that I like to use, okay, I don't have a name for this, it's just a variation, is I'm going to again use foot pressures. Okay, if you know anything about me by now, a lot of my mentorship content, it's all about what happens at the hand and what happens at the foot, because the intent always starts, obviously, when we make a decision to move, we've got an outcome, and the intent is usually coming from the foot or the hand. Okay, so my Nordic variation that I use is I'm just going to get Shane to push through his midfoot here, okay, and forefoot as much as he can, and then he's going to come as far forward as he can while maintaining tension through there, and then when he's finished there, he can relax, and Shane's pretty good with that. Okay, now you're not going to get as much hamstring through this, which I am not too worried about, but what I'm going to get a lot of is I'm going to get a lot of coordination between the glutes, the hamstring, and the gastro. Okay, so I get the muscle synergies working well here at the knee between the gastro and the hamstring. Okay, and if you look at Nordics, there's a massive medial hamstring component to this exercise. Okay, and personally, I think that's a big reason why Nordics have been shown to be successful for biceps fem injuries. Okay, I appreciate they might change the fascicle into the biceps fem, but I think a big reason why people are getting great results with Nordics that use them is because you're actually firing up, okay, or you're showing the brain that it's safe to fire up the medial hamstrings, and they're more important for the knee joint, in my opinion, than even the glutes. Okay, so I'm going to get him into this position. He's going to push through his midfoot, and he's going to keep actively pushing through the midfoot. So now he's getting full gastro and hamstring here. They're resisting knee extension by that active plantar flexion. Okay, and he's going to come back again. So the plantar flexion, the force is at the foot. It's a really nice way. Now, the nice thing about doing it this way as well is we've got a lot of freedom. If I want to bias a little bit more biceps fem here for Shane, I can get Shane to reach his left hand over towards me. So Shane gets that rotation as he comes through. He should feel a little bit more now on the outside of his lateral leg. Okay, so if I want to put a bit more load through his lateral hamstring, his biceps fem, I'm going to get that rotation, which is quite nice because we're starting to get in the torso now a little bit as well. Okay, if I want to get his medial hamstring, I might get him to reach his right hand this way, and he's going to feel a little bit more inner leg. Can you feel that? Okay, so we can change the loading, okay, and we can get a little bit more movement options with these exercises that are quite nice. Now, obviously, with the other traditional Nordic, you can do this as well with the reaches, but these are some ways that I'll play around with it. Rehab and a proximal hamstring, reattachment as well. Another exercise variation that I did was I'd get him to go to here, okay, get the plate between the hands, so take up the tension, and now I want you to hold it there, Shane, I just want you to rotate left and right. Okay, so now we're getting a bit of a transverse plane stimulus while his hamstring and gastro are holding him, okay, in the sagittal plane. Okay, so we can get some nice stimulus through these tissues that are not just one-dimensional. Okay, We can also, another challenge one with the guy I was working with in this scenario is come forward, build the tension, and then go up as far as you can. And this one is going to be quite hard because when I elevate his rib cage here, that's going to anterior tilt his pelvis, which is going to cause a reaction in the sagittal plane. And Shane's doing a great job here with this. Now I only go as far as I can maintain tension through the foot. When Shane feels tough exercise, a lot harder than it looks. Shane's made that look easy. I only get them to go as far as they can maintain tension through the floor or through the skirting board. Okay, give that a try. It's a nice exercise that can get everything working together. And we've got lots of variations that we can use to hit the hamstrings, not only one-dimensionally, but we can implement this and we can get the rib cage interacting with the pelvis, because whatever the rib cage does, the pelvis has to react. Okay, if the pelvis reacts, the hamstring has to react. So it's a nice way to get in a lot of these exercises with a very simple change or an adaptation, while still getting a lot of benefits such as stimulating the hamstrings both medially and laterally. So give it a go. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm more than happy to answer any questions.